Hey guys, Riley Quinlan here on Gemmy Inflatable Fans 98, and I got something cool to show you guys today. This is the 8-foot Airblown Inflatable Cat in the Hat. I did have another one of these. If you guys saw my display last year, my 2015 display video. If not, go check it out. That's my bigger display, or at least bigger than this year. That's usually what I usually do every year, but obviously this year would have had more inflatables if I was living in the other house. But beside that, this is one that I just bought recently. It was used, so I was kind of skeptical about it. The other one I had was in horrible condition. It just wouldn't stand. It was extremely worn out. The fabric was very porous, so it did not hold any kind of air. And it just, like, I replaced it with a brand new metal base fan and it just didn't work. So I ended up selling that on eBay and made a decent profit off of it. I mean, I got it in a trade with Justin John, so I didn't pay anything for it. So at least I made a profit off of it. And now this one, first of all, I'm glad it came with the original box. The box is beat to hell, though, as you can tell. But this is a very rare version of the Cat in the Hat. This is the 8-foot, obviously the 8-foot Cat in the Hat, but this has the plastic base fan instead of the metal base fan. The only thing that's also a thing you got to complain about, because it tends with the plastic base fans, especially on ones like SpongeBob, the Grinch and stuff like that. The Grinch with Max especially. The ones with the plastic base fans, they're not as strong as the metal ones, so they do tend to wear out and not hold air as long as they should, for as many years as they should with the metal, like the metal base fans do. But either way, this is the very rare variant of it with the plastic base fan, and it inflates decently. The common problem with these is in the head. The neck is so skinny in it that it will, even brand new in the box, the head usually flops back because it's honestly just poorly made like that. Like I said, the neck is very, very skinny, so it won't, and the head's huge, so it has a hard time supporting the head on it. And like I said, this thing inflates pretty good. I did inflate it yesterday and everything. This thing inflates decent, really good. And there's, if you can see, let me zoom in here. If you can see on the tie he has on the front there is 2 little stitches that hold the head up from the necktie here, and that's basically the only thing that's supporting the head. So it's still, even with those 2 little ties in it, it still has a hard time holding the head up. But anyway, I'm gonna pause the video here. I'm gonna take it out of the box and then we'll inflate it. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, so he's all taken out of the box here, so let's plug him in and inflate him. This is the box it came in. For some reason, this box is kind of almost like the same size as the metal base box, so I didn't think it came with an original box. That kind of bummed me out, but I realized it did, and I'm really happy that it did. So, anyway, and I actually was kind of shocked because I really had no idea that they even made a Cat in the Hat with a plastic base fan, but then I found out it was in a really rare version of it with a plastic base fan. So here we go. Now, like most of these, they still kind of need help. There's 2 parts in it too, so they still kind of need help inflating. And these are kind of top-heavy designs too. So you really need to stake it down pretty well for it to stand. As you can tell, underneath here, this is basically what supports it, and it's 2 parts, like I said, so it's kind of a heavy body, and especially the head's huge on it, and with the big hat and stuff. So it needs you know, a decent amount of help standing, so you have to stake it down pretty well. And it is tied to something behind it. That little table back there, it is tied to it right now. But I really, really like this design, and I've always wanted one. I was glad I got one last year, but I also was really bummed that it, you know, didn't inflate properly, and that was part of the reason I never did a review on it, was because, you know, I wasn't able to with the, you know, because it wouldn't inflate all the way. So I ended up putting in a double fan in it last year, but that still didn't hold it up too well, so it was really in really bad condition. So I ended up selling it on eBay, and made like 50, 60 bucks on it. I don't remember exactly, but it was a good profit, especially for getting it in a trade. So yeah, very cool. I really like this design. It's always been one that I've always wanted. It's another Dr. Seuss one, like the Grinch, that I'm really, you know, it's a really cool design. I think it would have worked much better if they didn't put the tree, but I guess since the cat, since he doesn't have like a Santa hat or anything on, I guess they kind of had to incorporate the tree anyway. But they could have just made it without the tree. I think it would have inflated a lot, you know, wouldn't have been such a, you know, poor design, or it would have inflated a lot better actually without the tree. You know what I mean? I don't really know how to explain it, but either way, I really like it, and I'm glad I got a new one I can actually finally use without, you know, having to put a double fan in it. But then again, like I said, the ones with the plastic base fans, especially ones like this, kind of worry me because of the fact that they tend to wear out, or not wear, well, when they do wear out, or they'll wear out much faster almost because the fan isn't as strong as it should be. But either way, I like this design. It inflates, you know, pretty tight. Like I said, his head kind of leans over a little bit, and that's because of how heavy the head is, and you really got to stake it down, you know, precisely and stuff for it. So anyway, guys, sorry for the really long review here. But here is the Gemmy 2004 rare variant Cat in the Hat. So Riley Quinlan here on Gemmy Inflatable Fans 98. Like and subscribe.